My audience for my speech today is
Will,
Morgan,
Jason, Matt.
success is a result of perfection, hard work, learning from failure, loyalty, and persistence. Colin Powell. And I got this quote from BrainyQuote.com. My name is Michael King, and I'm going to tell you the 3 steps that I took to get to college. So, my sources for today were BrainyQuote.com, Cal Career Center, college admissions, admissions.tamu.edu, advice from my parents and friends, advice from my local A&M prospective student advisor, and an interview with my brother, Johnny King. So, the 3 steps that I took were finding out solid facts, focusing on areas where I needed improvement, and remaining in contact with A&M through high school. So, fact finding. When I entered high school, I realized that there had to be a certain minimum GPA criteria, SAT scores, and just other type of areas that I would need to reach to ensure acceptance. And I got this picture from wikipedia.com. So on fact finding, what I started by doing was I researched online to find what scores were required exactly, what GPA I needed to hold, and what other factors I needed to have to be accepted. I met with my A&M advisor to learn more and see where I stood, and so I learned each score, and then I spoke to my parents and family because they'd all been to college and they had tips and knew. And what this really allowed me to do in fact finding so early on in high school was to see where I stood in my road to being accepted eventually on in my senior year. The information was taken from admissions.tamu.edu and my local A&M prospective student advisor and my parents and family. So more fact finding. This process was slightly disheartening because I realized how competitive admission was and that the requirements that I needed to reach, GPA and SAT, were going to be high and were going to be hard for me to get there. So since it was freshman year, I made a plan to reach these goals. And that picture is from admissions.tamu.edu. And I also got information elsewhere online, like the information on collegeadmissions.uchicago and Cal Career Center about taking the SAT multiple times, tips to keep your GPA up, and how to focus through high school early on. So, focus. The first 2 years of high school, I diligently focused on my grades to meet those requirements, my GPA, I studied, and made sure that I was on the right track so that when it was my senior year, I would be able to be admitted. The picture is from braincraftmedia.com. So, improvement and sacrifice. I realized after a few years in high school that there were certain areas that I wasn't exactly, there yet on, and I was going to have to do some special outside work on to meet those requirements. Namely, that area was math, and math had always been tough for me. But as I went through high school, I realized that I wasn't going to be able to meet the SAT requirement in math unless I, really took some hard steps outside of school to meet them. And I realized this was going to require some sacrifice. So what that sacrifice ended up being was the giving up running of track. And I loved running track. I ran all high school. I ran 110-meter hurdles, and it was my favorite thing to do. But as I got to my junior year, I realized that running track wasn't as important to me as it was getting into A&M. And to get into A&M, I was going to have to give it up because the practices were during when the tutoring sessions that I needed to go to were, and the season was just going to take way too much time that I couldn't afford to lose that semester before I would be applying to college and taking my last round of SATs. This picture is from runnersworld.com. You have to fight to reach your dream. You have to sacrifice and work hard for it. Lionel Messi. BrainyQuote.com is from where the picture's from, or the quote is from BrainyQuote.com, and the image is from Livestrong.com. So relationship building is another area that I focused on when it came to being accepted to A&M. Not only was I working hard in school, but I was also working on developing a relationship with A&M. I really wanted A&M to know that they were my first choice, that there wasn't another school involved that was going to steal my attention, and I wanted to be an Aggie, and I wanted them to know that. So I attended games, conferences. Despite being 3.5 hours away, I did pretty much everything I could and came down to College Station as much as I could to let A&M know that this is what I wanted to be. In interviewing my brother, this is a step that he took as well that we both found extremely important to being accepted, because it shows them that you want to be here. And this picture is from pbs.twing.com. So in conclusion, each step ended up paying off, and I was admitted. But it was a hard road to get to that point. Nothing was easy. It was, definitely difficult to get to that point. But I stayed focused through high school, and I did my 3 steps pretty much all the way through, and it worked out completely. And this picture is from admissions.tamu.edu. Show Pancro. Thank you very much. Yes!